Welcome back to the channel. I'm Coach Chris McMahon, and in today's video, we are going to talk all about the Romanian deadlift. Before we dive into this, please make sure you're subscribed to the channel, you have notifications turned on, leave a comment below with any questions, give a thumbs up if you found this video helpful, and thanks for being here. Look, if you don't know where to get started with your training and you're a little confused about things, you can click the link below, get a year's worth of workouts from me in exchange for your email address. I promise I will not spam you or anything like that. I will just send you my best content and also 52 weeks of workouts right to your inbox. The RDL is awesome. The Romanian deadlift is different from the conventional deadlift. A conventional deadlift starts on the ground. It also uses more quad and mid-back to perform the movement. However, if your goal is to grow some strong hamstrings, have injury prevention, and also grow some strong sets of cheeks, I would recommend the Romanian deadlift. Also, the conventional deadlift is a little more challenging for people with a straight bar, but today we're going to talk about the RDL I'm going to be using kettlebells, but you could use dumbbells, anything like that. And this one movement is going to change how you perform your RDL and have success every single time. So let's jump in. So we have clarity on what the difference is between the two versions of a deadlift. A conventional deadlift will start with the bar, weight, kettlebell on the ground, in contact with the ground. So if you don't have the best mobility, you might have to use something more like a yoga block or something to elevate it up. You could use a trap bar. These are ways to eliminate flexibility as a reason why you can't perform something like a conventional deadlift. You would wrap your hands around the bar, whatever it is, and you'll notice that I'm in more of this hip hinge squatty position. We want to pull ourselves and wedge ourselves in. This wedged position, pulling our lats down, then we stand up tall. Right? Come all the way down, pull it in, stand up tall. You'll also notice that the shins travel slightly forward, not as far as if we were squatting down, but this slight tweak makes the movement more quad dominant. You get some hamstrings in there, you get some mid-back in there as well. The Romanian deadlift is different though because it does not start from the ground. We start from the top. And you'll notice that what we're going to find here is that instead of allowing those knees to travel as far forward, we're going to have a slight bend in the knee and focus on pushing our butt back as much as we can. And you'll only be able to get about halfway down for most people. Now, this is a slight bend. You could also do a stiff leg, but I find that that's a little too hard for most people, puts a lot of stress on the lower back. Nothing bad about that. Don't want to hinge back. What we want to do is we want to be in this position, come up and tuck those glutes and squeeze. Come back down. So we're not truly locking out those legs, so we keep the tension on the glutes. Now, the thing that messes most people up is that they don't know exactly how to find that vertical shin and that slight bend. So sometimes it can end up being something like this, right? We can get a little funky and be here. Maybe we go down and we get a little rounding through the back, right? We can have all of these issues. So one of the things that we can use is really focusing on what our calves are doing. A great visual cue is to imagine that as you're going down and have this hip hinge, that you're pushing your calves away from the bar. So I'm trying to push my shin back while keeping that slight bend. You automatically will feel your hamstrings light up if you're pushing back through that shin. If you don't have a great awareness of your body in space, that becomes a lot harder to do. So what can you do to make that easier for yourself? Take a bench, just like this one. I'm going to angle it so you can see it in the camera a little bit better. And without any weight, you're just going to have your calves pushed into it. Literally. So I have this feedback here. This is giving me direct feedback telling me what I need to do, which is push back. From here, I'm going to hinge back, pushing my calves into the bench and having that slight bend so my shins remain completely vertical. Push back, push back, push back, push back. Keep pushing those shins back, the calves back, push back, push back. Push as far as you can, get that big stretch, and then drive to stand up. One of my favorite variations of this movement. So now if you take a dumbbell, kettlebell, you could use two kettlebells, 2 dumbbells, whatever you want, a barbell. It doesn't really matter the implement. What matters is the position. So drive that calf back, push back, push back, push back, get that butt, push your butt back, push your butt back, push your butt back. Keep pushing, keep pushing, keep pushing. Feel that stretch. Stand back up, squeeze your butt. Don't lock the legs out. Squeeze your butt, keep that tension. That's going to really help you Get it into the glutes, get it into those hamstrings, keep that tension, stand up, stand tall, squeeze your butt, push the floor away. Yeah? So that is one variation of the RDL that makes it easier for you to have that feedback. Now, if you're like, Chris, I can do that, but I have a hard time pushing my butt back, don't worry, there's another variation you can use the same bench for. First, you're going to take your bench and you're going to set it so that it's in this upright position. From this upright position, you're going to have an easier time having feedback. And here's why. You can also perform this against a wall if you want to. I just happen to like this because it makes it easier for someone. You'll stand. I like to stand feet a little bit wider than hip width just so I can get the exact positioning here because I don't want to be trapped underneath and like I can't move. And from here, you're not even going to use anything. You're just going to keep those shins slightly vertical. You're going to push your butt back to touch, boop, and come up. You can walk yourself back a little bit more if you need. You're going to push your butt back, keep those shins vertical, touch, come up. Close the car door with your butt, boop, come up. Now, if you had two dumbbells, or in this case, if I had a kettlebell, to kind of give an example here, I could have a kettlebell on the other side. Well, imagine I'm pushing my butt back, boop, stand back up. So two variations that you can use with the bench to give you a better sense of where you are in space and to have that much better of an RDL. Really give you a big difference here. You're going to feel a huge stretch in the hamstring. You're going to feel a huge stretch in the glutes, and you are going to feel it the next day, especially when you walk up the stairs. Now, one more variation that I absolutely love is doing this for a single leg RDL. It's the exact same setup as before. You'll have one calf touching the bench. You're going to take the other leg and place it back, just like this. And all you're going to do is you're going to push your butt back, boop, feel that in that one side, and stand back up. Nothing changes. Boop, and come back up. Now you can add the weight to the inside, hinge back. From here, I like to make it a complete dead stop. If you can get down, drive up. Drive the butt back, dead stop, drive up. Squeeze the butt. Making it a dead stop and taking the momentum out is going to be very, very challenging. Now with the kettlebell, it's easier to touch down. You could use something like a yoga block or a couple of mats you can stack up, something so that you have an easier time reaching a target. But again, that depends a lot on your flexibility, where you are. This is just another variation that you can do. So that was 3 different ways you can use the bench to boost up your RDL, make sure you're out of pain, and make sure that you are getting exactly the results you're chasing from the RDL, which are strong hamstrings and a strong set of cheeks. If you found this video helpful, do me a favor, click the subscribe button, comment below with your biggest takeaway, any questions you might have. I love answering them. Have notifications turned on, all that jazz, give a thumbs up. It's always so helpful to have that. And without further ado, remember, you're one day away from getting back on track, and one day away from realizing how fucking amazing you are.